A widely used anti-choking device is credited with saving hundreds of lives, including one right here in western Pennsylvania.
But Action News Investigates has learned that some medical authorities have not yet concluded that the anti-choking devices, including LifeVac, are effective. Investigative reporter Paul Van Osdol now is live with our story. Paul, how does this device work?
Well, Mike, this is a LifeVac, and the concept is really pretty simple. You just put this over the mouth and nose of someone who's choking, push in and pull out, almost like a plunger. Now, we spoke with a Pittsburgh area mom who credits this device with saving the life of her toddler. A Kennedy Township mother's frantic cry for help as her son chokes. And then relief after she uses a LifeVac to pull a toy bottle cap out of her son's mouth.
When I grabbed him and ran outside, I thought he was going to die.
Brittany Weir was making dinner when she saw her son Mason sitting still, his face beet red.
I don't see anything in his mouth, and I put him over my knee, and I'm smacking his back, and nothing came out.
She ran to her closet to get the LifeVac, and at first, it did not work.
And I panic. I'm like, that didn't work. What do I do? I'm running out of time. Help isn't on the way. I need help, or he's going to die.
That's when she ran outside, called for help, and tried the LifeVac again. This time, it did work, pulling out the bottle cap from Mason's throat.
I bought it literally 1 month and 1 day before he choked.
And if you hadn't bought it? LifeVac boasts of saving nearly 300 lives and says it sold more than 1 million devices. CEO Arthur Lee, who invented the device, says the concept is simple.
We're not talking rocket science. It's a little suction and the thing comes out.
Dr. Leonard Weiss is a UPMC emergency physician who is also medical director of Pittsburgh SWAT.
The concept is great, but the data's not there to support, their use.
A 2020 review of multiple studies found many weaknesses in the available data and few unbiased trials that test the effectiveness of anti-choking suction devices, resulting in insufficient evidence to support or discourage their use. LifeVac points to 2 more recent studies that show positive results, but those studies also recommend more research.
I'm just working off facts. I mean, show me a report that says first aid delays saving a life. It doesn't exist.
Still, neither the American Heart Association nor the Red Cross include LifeVac or other anti-choking devices in their CPR protocol. A Red Cross spokesperson says, as these devices have not been validated by the evidence, we do not provide training on how to use them. Why haven't the Heart Association or the Red Cross endorsed suction devices like LifeVac as part of their protocols?
Well, first off, they do not endorse, recommend, or promote any product ever. So that's always a beautiful misconception that causes people to die.
LifeVac is registered with the FDA, but the agency says registration does not denote approval, clearance, or authorization of a firm or its devices. FDA has not approved any anti-choking devices, nor is approval required.
Clearly, I lost my son due to failed protocols.
Little Colson Confer was eating breakfast one morning last year at his Meadville home when he started choking. His father, who is CPR trained, tried to revive him but could not. Colson was airlifted to Children's Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. If you had had a LifeVac device, do you think Colson's life would have been saved?
Yes, I do, which is why I advocate for it so much.
She has worked to get LifeVacs into schools, daycares, EMS, and restaurants, raising money to buy dozens of the devices. Some schools, including those in Meadville, have refused to implement LifeVac because it is not part of the Heart Association or Red Cross protocols. The state health department says Pennsylvania ambulances are not authorized to carry LifeVac or other dechoking devices. Courtney and other advocates, including Brittany Weir, are seeking state legislation to require the devices in schools. Courtney does it in memory of Colson, whose high chair has stayed in the same place since his death.
you know, when you lose a child as a parent, the only thing that you really have left to do with that child is to keep their purpose going and to keep their memory alive.
Even LifeVac's CEO says his device should be used only after trying other measures first, including the Heimlich maneuver and chest compressions. And of course, always call 911. Reporting from the North Hills, Paul Van Osdol, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.